City Farm and Sawmill. If you're new here, make sure you hit that like button if you like our content, and subscribe if you like sawmill and farming and everything we do around here. Today we're going to be cutting up some pine into cants. I got this idea from SwampSawyer. If you hadn't seen his channel, check it out. I'll put a link to his channel in my description. But we got all these old pines over here, and they're all the bark has slipped off of them, and they don't really have much bugs into them because we have chickens that eat most of the bugs. But they are looking pretty rough, so we're going to try to square these things up and get them stacked out of the way, and so we'll have a set size, and whenever we need them, we'll be able to throw them back on the mill and cut our boards out of them. So as you see here, we got all these old pines with the kitty. She just caught a squirrel a minute ago, so she's telling me all about it. But we have all these old pines here. All the bark has slipped off of them, and we're going to be taking one at a time, throwing them to the mill and cutting them up and squaring them up into cants. We're going to stack them right over there. We also have a big old stack of black walnut over here. We're going to be cutting that up soon, and you have to make sure you stay tuned for those videos. They'll be coming next, and we're going to get those cut up, and we're going to get them stacked to dry, and then we're going to work on our kiln project. We're going to get that built and stack all those in there. We also have a bunch of white oak. We got it all stacked up here, quite a bit of it. Some of them are a little too big for the mill. I may have to saw those down with like an Alaskan mill or something to square them up small enough to go into the sawmill, because some of those are pretty darn big. Some of them are just on the edge. Just loaded up some pine yesterday from a neighbor up the road. They had a tree fall in their house and shop and some other things, so I think in a previous video you guys saw that in the Hurricane Helene. We got all these logs. We got more coming too, so. And then we have some sweet gum, and we have some maples and quite a bit of stuff. So we're gonna be cutting all this up, working on it soon, and it'll all be coming to do some videos. So we're gonna be cutting up some of this white oak too. We already cut some of them up for a trailer deck for a friend, and like I said, we're gonna be working on that kiln soon, and we're gonna use some of it there. But right now we are working on these pines, squaring them up into usable cants. And I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but it is super soupy muddy today. We didn't have any rain since Hurricane Helene, which has been well over a month ago. It's been super dry, and now it's just all that dirt and dust, and it's just turned into soup. It is nasty. And I don't know if you've ever driven a skid steer, but if you have, one with tires, they suck in the mud and they just slip and slide. We got this one already on the mill. We cut it up this morning. We cut it down to a 10 by 10. So I'm gonna mark those with my spray paint. I may cut this end off of it because it's looking pretty rough, just to flatten it up some. And this end here too. We're gonna flatten those up, and I'm gonna mark that with my paint as a 10 by 10, 8 foot long, and we're gonna get stacked up. So we're gonna, hopefully by the end of this video, we're gonna have those dunnage right there full of big square pine cants. got that marked, just a 10 by, and it'll tell me it's 10 by. Mark it on both sides so I can see it when I pick it up from either side. This is a nice old pine. Just got this one on here. See how dirty these things are? They're just so nasty. I wish I had my pressure washer down here, but we don't really have, well, we've got a water hose that'll reach, but my pressure washer is electric. Well, all of my pressure washers are electric. I think my gas ones I hadn't used in so long that they won't crank up anymore. They probably got old gas in them or whatever. Whatever reason, they need to be serviced, because I need a pressure washer down here to knock some of this mud off, because that stuff will ruin a blade. All right, we're gonna start squaring this thing up. 8x8 out of that one. I was trying to make it 10x10, but it still has bark on the corners. Probably would have been fine, but we're gonna stack that up and we're gonna grab another one and continue. Flipping that thing. I didn't realize it was so bowed. Look at all that gap underneath here. I may have to jack the back up a little bit. I don't know about where you're from, but right now we have an infestation of yellow jackets. They are everywhere. I don't know what it is about this time of year, but they are bad. I got stung the other day, or yesterday. Bonnie got stung a couple of days ago. She swelled up bad, so I guess she might be allergic to them or whatnot, but my arm was hurting pretty bad, but it wasn't too bad. I lived through it. But if you got yellow jackets bad in your area, let me know. I don't know why this time of year, it seems like every year they get really bad. I'm going to eat some lunch. All right, I'm back from lunch. I almost feel like a nap now. Don't know if I can saw anymore. We gotta get it done though. Back to squaring up this log. First, I gotta level this thing out. Both my jack handles disappeared. Okay, we try that. to drop a fresh blade on this sawmill. That one's getting a little bit used up. Take it up to the sharpener and resharpen it. Gotta say, I hadn't bought blades in a while. I've been sharpening them quite a bit. I've got a ton of them right here in the back seat of the old Dodge. I'm gonna get this new blade on there and we're gonna continue cutting. I think this one's going to end up being about a 12 by 12, hopefully. We'll see. Let's get this blade changed out. I think I'm gonna hold off on changing this blade. It is super sharp. I think my belt's slipping. I think that's gonna be my problem. I think the blade just wasn't getting a good RPM because it wasn't spinning very fast. All right, let's get that belt tightened up. That's been a problem. I need to get a lock nut on this. Oh yeah, look at that. I can loosen it up by hand. I just tightened it. All right, let's fix this real quick. Let's see if we've got some bolts. Got an old bolt box here. Yeah, we're gonna try this out. See if we can't find a lock nut in there. Find us a lock nut and that thing won't come loose again. All right, there we go. Perfect. And we'll see if we can get this back on here without having to remove the cover, because it's kind of tight. All right, that shouldn't back off. All right, let's try that. Sometimes I wonder why I have back issues. Well, we got 11" by 12", 16 foot long on this one. So I'm gonna mark it and throw it in my pile. Yeah, I think that belt was what was slipping. That blade seems to cut pretty good. So we'll take this freshly sharpened blade and put it back in the truck. Got to top off my sawmill and juice. Well, I'm enjoying doing this, but I'm ready to see that big stack over there full. It gets kind of boring doing same thing over and over. I think what's boring is these tiny logs here. I don't think I'm gonna even get a 6x6 out of this thing. Maybe a 4x4, I don't know. We'll see. I gotta cut this end off real quick. Try to get away from me, and it's a little crooked. Tried to rotate over on me is when I started cutting, but we got it. Now that is a 5x6. Couldn't quite get 6 inches out of that one side of it, but 5x6, and it's a little bit, got a little bit of lean to it, but it's okay because I'm sure it'll end up being either a 4x4 or whatever. Some 1x6s, who knows. But I don't know if you can tell, you can't really see it by this phone, but because it's got great low light capability, but we're starting to lose light out here. We got some rain earlier and got sidetracked with other projects. So we lost our daylight. I'll show you what we got so far anyway. We'll continue this again another day. Let me show you what we got here. This is what we have so far. We got 6 of them cut today anyway. I was hoping to get through that whole stack, but it just didn't happen. It's a typical day. Things get away from you. Get other projects going on at the same time and bouncing back and forth. You don't get a full day's work here. They're square and there's no rotty bark on them. I'll show you our pile over here. What we still got left to cut, which is quite a bit actually. A lot more than I looked before I started digging down into it anyway. But we got quite a few logs left. Got some big ones, some small ones, some medium ones. I was hoping to get through all these today, but it just didn't happen. We'll do it another day and I'll make sure I record that too. Thanks for coming. Make sure you like and subscribe and join us for the next video.